Today we're going to be talking about Neptune in the first house and what it feels like to have this placement. And overall, it just feels confusing. But I just want to talk about how it feels to have this placement. Having Neptune in the first house, any first house placement in your chart, that's what's going to outwardly appear to the world. So any first house placements, those are the prominent things that you are going to show out into the world. Me having Neptune in the first house, you can obviously see it. All the, interesting things that I post and talk about in my aesthetic. And how it is, that is very Neptunian in nature. And I've even had people ask if I was a Pisces, and I'm not a Pisces, but I do have Pisces in my chart. And it's because I have Neptune in the first house, so they think that I'm a Pisces because Neptune is ruled by Pisces. But let's just get into it. Neptune in the first house makes you dreamy. It makes you a dreamlike person. And Neptune is the planet of that. Neptune is the planet of illusion and things like that. I don't really know that much. I just really got deeply into astrology a couple of months ago, so I'm really just doing this to learn about myself. And that's the thing about Neptune in the first house, that when you have it in the first house, like, your whole aura and personality is going to be surrounded by this dreamlike state. And I actually wrote down a couple of celebrities that actually have Neptune in the first, just to give you an idea. Erykah Badu, Ariana Grande, Jhené Aiko, Janet Jackson, Marilyn Monroe, Kim K, and Paris Hilton. And there's probably more, but those are just the ones that I wrote down to give you an idea of how this placement affects people and their personality. Having Neptune in the first house, it's just like my overall personality. I feel like I do have a confusing personality. And I've always felt that, like, my whole life, especially when it's in the first house and it deals with your appearance and shit. I know I've dealt with this. I definitely don't even have a view of myself. Like, that's why, like, when I see people, and it's not to say that I don't have a sense of self, because I do, but I just feel like I don't have a grounded sense of self. So it's like I can appear in different ways to different people, and it's like I have many different sides of myself, but it's not even sides of myself. It's just like I just appear as me, but people just view me differently. Like, growing up, I have naturally, like, really long hair, right? And people growing up would always ask me if my hair was a wig. And I would always had girls pull my hair at school because they thought my hair was a wig, but my hair is real, right? And, like, people always think that I'm wearing a wig. And then even, like, I've had another person think that my natural curly hair was a wig. And I've even, when I've had my hair straight, I've been accused of being Blasian or Indian. And people tell me that I look like a whole other race just by simply straightening my hair. And that was the confusing part. Like, I never really had, like, a sense of self. And a couple years back, like, I had a whole Pan-African phase where I had my afro, and then I grew up my hair, and then, now last year a year ago I started straightening my hair again. So it's like I've gone through many different phases in my personality, and that's just like Neptune in the first. Like, you're just confusing. You're hard to pin down. Like, I literally feel that about myself. Like, I take a picture of myself and I feel like a different person every single day. And like, I look different in every single picture. And I have body dysmorphia. And it's like not even in a bad way though. Like, I've had it in a negative way. It's just like I don't have like a clear view of myself. And I think that I look one way, but like in reality it's like a whole other thing. And that's the thing though, when you have Neptune in the first house, it's like when people are mean to you, it's like you're kind of aloof to it because you're not even here, you know. And like, that's how I've always felt. Like, I can detach from my own body. Like, even me getting on here and speaking and putting my voice out on the internet, that's a part of my Neptune in the first house, because I'm detaching myself from my body and my ego, and I'm able to put a portion of my Neptune in first energy out there, you know. And it's just a big part of my personality to have like this dreamy, like spiritual quality. But I will say this, that I've noticed with myself, Neptune in first, and other people with Neptune in first. People with Neptune in first create their own worlds. You are not really in realities, and like, we romanticize people in our life. We over romanticize things in our life. It's like, even when that thing stops working, it's like we cannot accept reality because we're disconnected from reality, because we've created our own reality in our minds, in our own world. And I live in my own world. I always live in my own world. Like, I put music on and I maladaptive daydream and I spin around in circles like a little girl. And that might be childish behavior because I'm 19 years old, but I don't care. I have a childlike quality in me. And like 2 days ago, I hung out with my little cousin, and she's like 4, and I was literally playing outside with her, throwing the ball with her, and like playing with toys with her, playing house with her with the toys and like shit, you know. And I'm 19 years old, and I know like a lot of people would call that shit childish, but that's just the type of energy that I have, you know, being Neptune in the first. Like, you just have this dream-like quality. And you can really see this with people with Neptune in the first. Like, I really see that in, like, Ariana Grande. She has Neptune in the first. Like, she's 30, you know, and she just made a movie with Wizard of Oz, and she doesn't even look like she's 30, you know. Like, that's the Neptune in the first energy. Like, we are just tapped into, like, a world that's like no age, no bounds. It's a beautiful part, and I understand having this placement makes you a little bit delulu. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit delusional, but that's okay. I'm living in my own world, and I don't even know how I appear to the world, you know? Especially with me with this podcast, like, I don't even know how people view me. I'm just doing this because I feel like doing it, you know? And I know, like, the repercussions that might come with that. Like, people obviously care what they put online and shit, like, you know. But like, when you have Neptune in the first, you're kind of detached from reality. But this helps you so much artistically, since we disconnect from, like, the art that we put out, because Neptune in the first is out of body type stuff. So it's like it really helps you detach yourself from a lot of things in your life. And yeah, like I've always felt like that in my life. Like I've just always been a confusing person. And it will forever be that way with me, you know. I'm just a confusing person, you know. And I just feel like I'm constantly changing my mind. My appearance is constantly changing. I'm a hard person to predict, you know. I don't even know what I'm gonna do next, you know. So it's like, that's the thing. Like, Neptune in the first, we're just unpredictable. And we're confused. I'm confused about who I am. I don't know who I am. I'm learning who I am every day. And other people don't know who I am. People have mistaked me for being another race, being this, being that. People have even accused me of bleaching my skin, because when I was younger, I was a little darker. And now I'm a little bit lighter. And people have even accused me of bleaching my skin. But simply, my skin has just naturally changed over the years. And I even was in a delusion that, oh my God, like, did I bleach my skin? Like, I know it's like crazy as hell. Like, this Neptune in the first energy makes you crazy, but I know, and it's crazy. It's like, my skin has changed. I've gotten lighter over the years. Maybe that's with age, I don't know, but people have just accused me that my hair was fake, that I've bleached my skin, that I've worn makeup, where I haven't worn makeup in like the past. And it's just, I don't know. That's what I always thought. Like, I'm kind of confusing, you know. So yeah, having this placement growing up as a kid, obviously, you know, I'm very open about my mental issues and being diagnosed. And, you know, I've never, you know, so it's like growing up, I just felt outcasted. Because naturally people just think that I'm crazy. Even as a little kid, like, the Neptunian energy was this strong that, you know, from the ripe age of 6, 7, you know, they took 6, 7 brain rot shit, but you know, I was already being taken to psychologist and shit. It's just, you know, I can never promise you that I'll be normal. I'm never gonna be normal. I was born a weird alien girl, and I'm gonna always be weird, you know. And even to think, for me, like, I've tried to be normal in the past, but after I had my spiritual awakening 5 years ago, there's just no going back, you know. Like, I'm never gonna be normal, you know. There's always gonna be something a little confusing, a little bit off about me. And I've accepted that, and I'm just gonna keep diving deep and learning more about myself every day. And that's it. With Neptune energy, there's no goals. Like, it's just, it is what it is. It's confusing, you know. And I don't even know who I am. I know who I am, but I'm learning who I am every day, you know. And it's a confusing energy. But that's what helps me be artistic and creative, because I live in a dream world. I live in my own world, and this helps me get through with life. My dream world, my own world, and it helps me be confident and creative and put things out into the world like this, because I have this detachment from life and from my own body. And I know that's kind of scary, but that's how it feels to have Neptune in the first. It just feels like you're connected to something that's so above your body, who you are as a person, your life. Like, just something so, you just know that there's just something bigger than your body, your life, and everything around you, that it allows you to be selfless. It allows you to, do things that other people wouldn't do, simply because I live in the dream world. And being delusional or being in a dream-like state, it doesn't make me less of a person. That just means that I am connected to my own inner world. And that is a beautiful thing, And I've noticed that with people who have Neptune in the first, we are just understanding and less logical. We are more understanding of humans and like souls and like the world in general in such a deep way, because we live in our own worlds, and we just live in worlds that people you can even access. And even me doing this right now, it's like I'm trying to bring a piece of my consciousness and manifest it physically into this third dimensional reality. And I will always be weird and live in a weird dream-like state. And that's how I live my life. I'm a little bit delulu. I'm a little bit crazy, and I've accepted that. I've been like that my whole life. And I'm going to keep being that. So if you have Neptune in the first, understand you're confusing. Like, for example, me, this whole video, like, it's just confusing. There was no key points. The whole shit was just confusing. If you have Neptune in the first, just accept it. You're Delulu. We live in our own worlds. And your universe, your world is beautiful. And because of our detachment, start doing things into the world. Okay? Keep being magical.